I just realized this whole stream was I just realized this whole stream that I had no sound. I wasn't even looking at the line. I wasn't looking at none of that shit. So look, we're gonna start this over, man. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Testing, 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 testing. We're gonna start in 1 second. Hold on. Let me just make sure my sound is right. Testing, testing, testing. Testing. All right. I think, yeah, my sound is right. All right. Let's get into the show. Welcome to the check-in, folks. Today's topics. Why are black women so against the black heterosexual man? Why is it? You know, recently we've been seeing things in terms of R. Kelly. A lot of black women have bashed him in the media. And I'm not saying that he's the example for, strong black heterosexual men, but a lot of women are using him and saying this is how problematic men act. This is the example of toxic masculinity. And I take issue with that. I take issue with R. Kelly being the example for problematic black men. I take issue with women using R. Kelly as the example for toxic masculinity from, strong heterosexual men. So I wanted to talk about the issue of black women being against strong heterosexual men. Let's be honest. A lot of black women do not want to be led by a man, nonetheless by a strong heterosexual black man. And black women are kin. And a lot of black women are friends with gay black men. And they take up their issues. They take up their, they take up the things that their community, their respective communities deal with. They're in their communities. They fight for their causes. And I'm not saying that black women don't fight for heterosexual black men. But what I'm saying is black women can be friends and be kin and be respectful to, homosexual black men. But when it comes to heterosexual black men, a lot of, nagging, a lot of, backbiting, a lot of, you can't tell me this, you can't tell me that. Well, let's talk about the issue respectfully. A lot of these women grew up in homes where a father figure was not present. So they never had that example. They never had that example of a strong, heterosexual man. Respectfully, they grew up watching their mother struggle to make ends meet, watching their mother, go back and forth to the court system to receive child, support or to receive, welfare. They're seeing their mother struggle and deal with deadbeat after deadbeat, low life after low life, scumbag after scumbag, men in and out of their life. So they never had that positive role model, an example of a strong heterosexual black man. And we can all agree that your father, whether it be in a young man's life or in a young girl's life, your father is the example. For a young boy, your father is the example of what a man you should be. For a young woman, a young girl, your father is the example of how a man should treat you and provide for you. Well, let's be real. If a generation of women that are so against strong heterosexual black men, would it be safe to say a lot of these women come from broken homes where they never had that positive, strong black influence in their life? And I could take it down to a deeper level. I could take it back to slavery, because I believe that it goes back even to that. It goes back to even that degree. You know, the black man was forced to watch his queen and his wife to go back to the master's slave quarters. The black man had to eat that. He had to swallow that pill. He couldn't fight it. If the white man wanted to grab his woman and take him back to his quarters respectfully, the black man had to eat that. So I would say the black woman has a lot of resentment for the black man, the heterosexual, strong black men. And then you take on the component of a modern day component where we have the broken homes and the fathers not being there and the positive influence of a strong heterosexual man not being put in the home. And then we take it to that component and we see, you know, a lot of black women, you know, calling out strong heterosexual men. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every male is fit to lead a woman, because every male is not a man. Just like every girl is not a lady. But what I'm talking about is women, black women, essentially black and brown women, being led by strong heterosexual men. I don't think that is an issue. And I don't think that black women should look at it as an issue. That, you know, a man cannot tell you anything. You have to let a man be a man. We don't see these type of issues in the white home, respectfully. In the Hispanic home, respectfully. In the Asian home, respectfully. We don't see this. Only in the black community do we see a mass of women challenging a man's masculinity. I don't see that in the white household. I don't see that in the Asian household. I don't see that in the Hispanic household. Only in the black community do we have these black women. And listen, I love black women. I respect, and not only do I love black women, I respect black women wholeheartedly. But this is the issue. This is the issue. Why? Why is only in the black community is the black man challenged? I don't see the white man constantly being challenged by his woman. The Asian man constantly being challenged in his masculinity at that. And I said this a while ago, and this was a great point that I brung up. A black woman will challenge a black man in his masculinity, but a black man will never, a heterosexual black man, not a gay black man, a heterosexual, straight, strong black man will never challenge a black woman in her femininity, but a black woman will challenge a man emphatically in his masculinity. His right to his masculinity, his rightful place in a relationship, his masculinity. Why is that? And we continually have these, you know, debates on, you know, these, you know, being led by, and I just want to say this, there's nothing wrong with a woman taking instruction from a man, respectfully. If that man, you know, wants the best for a woman, if that man is leading that woman to a path of righteousness and to a path of what's good for her and what's good for him, I don't see anything wrong with that. Just like if a woman came into a man's life and, brought positivity to his life and brought, good health and wealth to his life, I don't feel like that's a negative. Just like I don't think a woman should think it's negative, especially a black woman that should think that it's negative that a black man, a strong heterosexual black man, wants to lead her in a positive and righteous way. And that is why, personally, I come in the door strong. Because I always want a woman to know, any woman I'm dealing with, in every relationship, I want a woman to know, listen, I don't need you for shit. Respectfully, I'm a gentleman, respectfully. But I always want a woman to know, I don't need you for shit. I don't need you to cook for me. I don't need you to clean for me. I don't need you to help me with my finances. I'm good. Respectfully. I'm looking for you to, I'm looking for you to, to be an amenity in my journey. I'm looking for you to bring some type of positivity to my life. I'm looking for you to be a soul for me to connect with, a human vessel for me to carry on my lineage. But I'm not looking for you to cook and clean for me. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want that I wouldn't, accept that, but I'm not saying that that is something I want from you and that's what I'm looking for, because I'm an independent man. I don't need a woman to cook and clean for me. I can do that on my own from a young age. I let women know through the front door. I'm my own man. I don't need you like a mother to cook and clean for me. I can do that on my own. I need you to be a soul for me to connect with, a human vessel to carry my lineage. Someone, reliable, honest, and respectfully, a woman that can, get some of these whole ass niggas in line that call my phone, But that's what I'm preaching. That's what this is live stream. That's what this live stream is about. Heterosexual men being challenged in their masculinity. Some of these women, respectfully, and I brought this point up earlier. They're on the front lines for the gay homosexual man, black man. They go out to the clubs with them. They get their hair done with them. They go shopping with them. They're kin to them. They're respectful of them. They don't step on their toes. But when it comes to the heterosexual black man, he's constantly getting a fight. He's constantly being challenged in his masculinity. Constantly being told that you're not a real man. He's constantly being challenged in his masculinity. And that's my take. I'm True and Living. Thank you for joining me in this live stream. Why is the black woman so against the heterosexual black man? Thank you for joining me.